Hello and welcome to Orbiting Break. In today's video is going to be exploring some alternate history concepts for Salyut 7. It's commonly mispronounced as Salyut 7, though I've heard that that's a incorrect way to pronounce it. And so, starting off here, we're launching a proton rocket with the normal Salyut 7. Yeah, this is using mostly Centauri's parts. That's true for most of the video. And you can see one of the interesting facts about the Salyut station design, where part of the station is exposed without a fairing, as they wanted a larger diameter station than would be allowed by the fairing. And so, the way it's modeled in this, in Centauri's, is the adapter between two sections of the station also has a fairing on it, which we'll address in fairly soon. Well, actually, we're currently about to address in the first stage. And also, you may have noticed there was some wobble on launch. For some reason, the autostrut wasn't working properly. Now, I'll talk more about the alternate history and never realized concepts when they're actually shown. So right now, this is a pretty standard launch, and the launch site I was using was JNSQ Gagarin launch site, available when using JNSQ with Kerbal constructs, and a few other mods, I believe. You'll have to check the JNSQ page for that. We're almost in orbit, just circularizing, and I've deployed that fairing a while ago. You can see the solar panels and antenna, which we've detached the lower stage, or that upper stage, and deploying the solar panels and antennas. And so, with the station now in orbit, we should probably send some crew up to it. Just getting some nice shots of it in orbit. And so this is a standard Soyuz launch. This would be a Soyuz T variant, which at this time would only carry 2 crew members instead of the usual 3. That was because with these earlier Soyuz variants, there was not enough space in the capsule for all 3 crew members to be wearing pressure suits, but 2 crew members wearing pressure suits could still fit. And that's not modeled properly in Centauri's, so the IVA still has 3 seats. Now, I've managed to completely ignore what's on screen. We had a Korolev cross, and we've had several stage separations. And our launch escape system just said that the truss the launch escape system was mounted on it stayed attached, and it's now precariously stuck on the top of the Soyuz. And I'm doing some pitch maneuvers to try and get off, completely ignoring what that's doing to my trajectory. It's now stuck in an antenna, and it falls away, getting pretty close to impacting the side of the rocket. I'm pretty sure there's a different way you're supposed to attach the launch escape system. Maybe I should just use the offset tool. So we're almost in orbit. It's going to be a pretty quick rendezvous. And detaching from that upper stage and deploying the solar panels and docking antenna. And doing another maneuver to get on course for rendezvousing. And we're almost at the station. Time Warp's doing some weird stuff as always. And now, so I'm currently pointed towards the front-facing, or, well, I probably shouldn't say front-facing, but the logical, prograde docking port. However, I'm actually going to be docking to the retrograde docking port. You'll see why this is pretty soon. So yeah, I did that maneuver of flying around the station. And now we're approaching the docking port and docked. Now, unfortunately, the Tintorius parts don't have proper IVAs, so I can't do a free IVA fly-through of the station. But we can get some nice panning shots of the craft. And now, this timeline diverges from the real timeline, because the module launched to Mir Gavant 1. I may have mispronounced that, sorry if I did. Well, that was actually delayed. It was originally meant to launch to Salyut 7, and that's what I'm gonna be doing. Launch goes normal, except now we get a bit of a angry alligator. You can Google that. Or part of the fairing stayed attached. Though that resolves itself. And so the module plus its tug, which you can see right now, the combined craft can then start its rendezvous process after deploying its antenna and solar panels. And we're docking. And yes, the module was intended to be docked to the forward port. The tug can now deorbit itself. And now we have this space station with this combined craft. And so, this could be the final state of this. However, there were some other proposals for Salyut 7 that never came to fruition. And well, after the success of Apollo-Soyuz, there are proposals for a shuttle-salyut, or shuttle-salyut. And so yeah, I'm launching a space shuttle to dock with Salyut. Now this might be cursed, depending on how you look at it. And saying stuff about this launch, I'm using Space Shuttle Endeavour, which that's not accurate to when this would be occurring. Endeavour wouldn't fly until 1992. However, there's enough unrealistic events happening in this video that I feel like it's fine to to have an anachronism in space shuttle usage. And I used a mech trip for this ascent because I do not want to try to fly an actual space shuttle. And we're now in orbit and dressing the external tank. And now opening the payload bay. And yeah, I have the Mir docking module. Now I'm not quite sure if this would have actually been, if something similar to this would have been used in the real life concept. But in Kerbal Space Program, due to the way the docking ports work, I needed something like this to ensure that the shuttle docking port, basically the shuttle docking port and the station docking port, were not compatible. Now I tried to use the robotic arm to move the docking module to the shuttle docking port. However, that didn't work, so I'm instead doing a very interesting maneuver where I have the docking module on the robotic arm, and I'm docking the station to the docking module, and then I'm gonna let go of the docking module, and then have the station dock to it. I said the word dock and docking way too many times in that sentence. And my control point was a bit weird, and so yeah, that happened. But we can get that sorted out, and that strange maneuver actually ended up working out fairly well. There were tons of attempts at trying to get done the more logical way, and yeah, no, I spent literal hours trying to get the robotic arm to dock the module to the docking port, and I'm saying the word dock so many times it doesn't make sense. But now, the entire craft, the shuttle, the docking module, and the station are all docked, and so we now have this possibly cursed image of a space shuttle docked to a Salyut. However, the command module, after it was launched in real life, had the additional truss added to it, which was for attitude control, and so I decided to add that to mine as well. And so I currently have a Kerbal EVA, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to attach this. Also, something went weird where the cargo parts, the truss looks like the box, well, the truss pieces look like the box at the end of the truss, and the box that's at the end of the truss looks like the truss pieces. You can see what I'm talking about if you look at the footage. So I moved the container with the parts over to the docking module, and I did a quick save there as EVA construction and Kerbal Space Program can cause tons of Kraken attacks, which I thankfully avoided. And I wanted to get these parts connected perfectly, and EVA construction, it always adds some random drift to the parts for some reason, so I'll just have to deal with that. But the construction is almost done. I wanted to show this entire construction process, as I don't think there's many videos showing EVA construction. And so you briefly saw it, but yes, we have the completed station. However, the video is almost over, so let's return the crew home. First craft to return will be the Soyuz. Also, I'm not quite sure if the white and blue color scheme will have actually been accurate to the Soyuz used at this time. However, too many people just use either the black or green variants of the Soyuz spacecraft, so I wanted this to look different. And not much to really say about the orbit and re-entry. Landing went pretty normal. You've seen capsules land in Kerbal Space Program before. I don't really have anything to say. But now the shuttle undocks. And so, well, this re-entry, well, I'm still not good at landing space planes in Kerbal Space Program, and I misjudged my re-entry. That's kind of a spoiler alert, but that's kind of a spoiler. But I feel like that's to be expected. If you've seen my previous videos where I've tried to land space planes, you saw the orbit burn there. We're now re-entering. And you see that large peninsula up ahead? That's where the Kerbal Space Center is. And we're still going, 3.6 kilometers a second, and are still over 55 kilometers in altitude, going right past it. In fact, I misjudged my landing by so much. We're also going to miss the Welcome Back Island runway, which is up ahead, headed by JNSQ. And at this point, my trajectory shows I'm going to be crashing in open ocean, which is obviously not good. However, I'm able to just barely make it to the island runway, moved way further downrange by JNSQ. And, well, the island runway, it's a significantly shorter runway, and also it's a dirt runway. It's definitely not what you're supposed to land a space shuttle on. However, I'm going to try to do that anyways. And so, the best advice I've heard with gliders is to always keep your nose pointed down until you're flaring up to land. And so, I'm actually deploying the brake action group, and so I've opened the air brake on the tail, and almost down, kind of a steep descent, and I didn't flare up at all. But the craft is in one piece, and no spatial landing is truly smooth. Barely avoided that remnant of a structure there. Also, there is no drogue parachute on this. But as the craft comes to a stop, almost, there we go. Actually, no. There. Yeah, there. I want to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and goodbye.